What's up with it? It's your boy King, aka Kid Sam, and we jumping out the porch with Dirty Glove Bastards. Yeah. Every time we get into it about something crazy can happen. So I feel like that's a big risk.
Man, I feel like you're the one out of all your siblings, like you like the rebel out of everybody.
Yeah. Okay, I see. What up, y'all? It's your boy King, aka New King of the South.
AKA Junior. This is Tip, King of the South Senior, and this is Goat Talk with Complex.
T.I.'s son, King Harris, has found himself in the middle of an absolutely explosive scandal after allegedly being outed on the down low. And if that wasn't scandalous enough, there's now speculation that his baby might not even be his. I know. I'm literally clutching my pearls while telling you this. Before we get into all this delicious drama, let me give you some background tea. King Kandre Harris came into this world on August 25th, 2004 in Atlanta, Georgia, born into hip-hop royalty as the son of T.I. and Tiny Harris. This child has been in the spotlight since day one, literally growing up before our very eyes on their hit reality show, T.I. and Tiny: The Family Hustle. Talk about being born with a silver spoon and a camera crew.
Hello?
Who is it?
Okay.
Who is it?
Okay. For the whole month? All right.
Hello?
Bye.
Who is
I could go back to when King was Eris's age. I can go back to when Major was my granddaughter's age. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for family.
But honey, let me tell you something that'll make your jaw drop. All that glitz and glamour we saw on TV, it was about as real as those natural bodies in Hollywood. The truth behind the scenes was messier than a toddler's first attempt at finger painting. While the show tried to serve us this perfectly seasoned family life, the reality was more like a burnt Christmas dinner. Would you believe, and this is the gospel truth, that King actually spent most of his time living with his grandmother? Yes, saints and sinners, you heard that right. The real tea is that T.I. and Tiny would mainly swoop in to collect their baby boy just to film episodes of their show. King spilled all this piping hot tea himself, revealing how he basically called his Nana's house home, sweet home. My heart is literally breaking into a million pieces just thinking about it.
Because I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when them cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house.
Now, despite this family drama that could fill a whole season of soap operas, our boy King wasn't about to let it dim his shine. Following in his daddy's footsteps like a true heir to the throne, he dove headfirst into the music scene. And let me testify, this young king wasn't playing around. He started dropping beats and bars that had everyone's heads turning, mixing business with pleasure like a professional bartender. With a father who's got more Grammys than some people have common sense, it's no surprise that music runs through this boy's veins like premium gasoline.
My fan base in Atlanta, from these past shows that I've been doing with Double F and on the tour that I just did. So I want to say it's growing. And the album gonna be crazy. So it's gonna, when I started to get into the music, like for real, because we ain't broadcast that as much. Because I realized I wanted to do music, like, I want to say, not the beginning, but almost the beginning of school. Like, we was in there a couple months, 2 months.
But child, let me tell you about the drama that exploded in November 2023. It was the argument heard round the world when T.I. and King got into this heated exchange that was caught on camera. And honey, it was messier than a food fight at a wedding. T.I. was trying to tell his son that he grew up with more privilege than a Kardashian at a boutique, but King was having absolutely none of that. He was standing his ground harder than a tree in a hurricane, insisting he was from the hood, despite never having to wake up with a cockroach doing the cha-cha across his face. T.I.'s words, not mine, saints. The boy was practically begging to trade in his gated community credentials for a street pass. Can somebody please call Iyanla to fix this life?
King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
No, that's not the goal.
All right, then. So man, go.
in your ear.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I got some in the neighborhood with me that broke up with roach in your ear. Y'all want to go to the bando in my neighborhood? Do y'all want to go to the bando? Do y'all want to go to the bando? To make him look better, he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, I used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You to hold your breath.
Every
There's
day.
no tantrum to go over there.
Neighborhood. I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there. But they don't understand
No,
that.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why he want to be over there. Y'all ready?
What was the reason?
Cause he can suck and pacify over there till he was 12 years old. He was sucking pacify.
I have an excellent communication with all my kids. I try to listen
Right.
as much as I speak
Okay.
to them.
Right.
And from his position here, man, I don't just want to be celebrity's kid. Like, I don't want to live off of y'all's success. I don't want to have to just be in y'all's shadow.
Now, grab your stress balls, because this is where the story starts getting juicier than a Georgia peach. Like most celebrity children who think they're bulletproof, King couldn't stay away from trouble if it had a restraining order and security detail. In September 2022, he dropped this bombshell on Instagram announcing he'd been arrested. Of course, he kept the details locked up tighter than Fort Knox, but baby, the internet investigators were working overtime. The social media street started flooding with people coming for T.I.'s parenting skills like he was running for Father of the Year. And you know T.I. wasn't about to let that slide. He jumped on social media faster than a cheetah chasing its dinner, posting this video that had more clapbacks than a standing ovation. He was like, "Stop blowing up my phone about King," claiming he knows his son better than he knows his own Grammy collection. T.I. tried to paint this picture that King is just a good kid who's temporarily lost his GPS to success. But between you, me, and these church fans I'm waving, the whole situation was messier than a toddler's first attempt at making pancakes.
Much criticism as I receive about my son, I would like to shed light on the fact. We all got bad ass kids, okay? Now listen, don't make it seem like I'm the only one on here who got bad ass kids. I take the good with the bad and just let them know, you going to prison if you keep it up. I don't wish it on him, you know what I'm saying? I don't wish it on him, and I love him through it. Whatever he going through, I love him through it, and I can't say he a great kid enough.
And speaking of mess, saints, sinners, and everybody in between, hold on to your edges because it gets worse. This boy has had more run-ins with the law than a cat has lives. We're talking about nearly turning his car into a police vehicle's dance partner, getting caught with marijuana and a gun in his car, Lord have mercy, and cruising around with an expired license in 2022 like it was a fashion statement. The drama keeps piling up higher than my church hat collection.
Not just as his own man, but he want to go through the different challenges and adversities. He want to be tested and be graded on his response to whatever his skill set is in that area.
Okay.
Not, oh, well, he did bad because he T.I.'s son.
But speaking of cops, your son got arrested along with T.I.'s son, right?
He got detained, but they let him go.
Okay, what was that arrest over, do you know?
But wait, get your smelling salts ready because this tea is about to get so hot it might burn your tongue. Just when you thought things couldn't get any more scandalous, boom! A leaked video surfaced showing King in an intimate moment with another man. And when I tell you it was spicy, child, it was hotter than Satan's kitchen. The real gag is that this video found its way to both T.I. and King's baby mama, Big Nana, faster than gossip spreads at a family reunion. The internet absolutely lost its mind, exploding like my aunt's pressure cooker on Thanksgiving.
Everybody know my son King. He's a passionate young man. And,
He's very passionate.
Yeah, and he has some tumultuous times. But the Lord ain't through with him yet.
That's right.
I mean, yeah, and he get better every day and learn from his mistakes the same way any of us did when we was that age.
Does he remind you of yourself when you was younger?
You know what he does? He reminds me of myself at a time in my life where I made the most egregious mistakes I could ever make. You know what I'm saying? And I paid dearly for them. But he has something that I never had.
Right.
And that's me.
Right.
And his mama. You know what I'm saying? He has a way of garnering attention for himself.
Now, this situation has everybody and their mama talking about privacy and respect in celebrity families. But let's keep it 100. What everyone's really focused on is how this is affecting T.I.'s tough guy image. Think about it. Here's Mr. King of the South himself, who's built his whole empire on being harder than concrete, and now he's dealing with this kind of scandal. Baby, T.I. is shook like a Polaroid picture. In the hip-hop world, where masculinity is served for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, this kind of tea could damage his street cred worse than wearing sandals with socks. It's like watching a house of cards trying to survive a tornado.
They receive it. If you're going to have an emotional attachment to their opinion of what you're doing, if you gonna care about what they saying, yeah, it's gonna be hard.
The plot is thickening faster than my grandma's gravy because word on these streets is that T.I. is working harder than a pastor on Easter Sunday to keep this video from spreading. But here's the real tea that'll have you speaking in tongues. Big Nana allegedly has her own copy of the video. Talk about keeping receipts. And let me tell you something else. T.I. and Nana have never exactly been singing from the same hymn book. He's always been side-eyeing her intentions with King harder than a suspicious mother-in-law, thinking she's just trying to cash in on the family's fame and fortune like it's an unlimited buffet. And now that she's supposedly holding on to this video, child, the plot is thicker than day-old grits. Speaking of family drama, T.I. and Tiny are apparently on opposite sides of the church on how to handle this situation. Tiny's taking the let's face the music and dance approach, wanting to address everything head-on like a true Georgia peach. But T.I.? Baby, he's trying to bury this story deeper than my great-grandmother's secret recipe. People are saying T.I. cares more about his image than his own son's well-being, and the bad parent allegations are sticking to him like butter on hot cornbread. Now, in the middle of all this chaos that would make reality TV producers weep with joy, King and Big Nana welcomed their bundle of joy, King Jr., on November 5th, 2024. It should have been all happiness and hallelujahs, right? King was floating higher than gospel choir notes, posting on Instagram, and even dropping a whole song called Dear Son, sweet enough to give you cavities, right? Wrong, because saints, this is where the tea gets so hot it could melt steel. Rumors started spreading faster than butter on hot toast that King might not even be the baby daddy. Can you believe the audacity? The whispers say that Nana wasn't sure who the real father was and just decided to pin it on King like a tail on a donkey. And hold on to your church hats because it gets juicier. There are claims that a DNA test proved King isn't the father. I am literally fanning myself with both hands. Social media went absolutely nuclear with this news. People were coming for Big Nana like she was giving away free money. But let me tell you something about this family. They circle the wagons faster than a praise dance. King's big sister Zeke jumped into the mess to shut down those DNA test rumors quicker than an offering plate passing through church. And Tiny, baby, she went full mama bear mode, posting these gorgeous family Christmas photos like she was saying, "What drama? We're too blessed to be stressed." Meanwhile, King is playing it cooler than the other side of the pillow in all this mess. He hasn't said a word about these rumors, but he keeps posting pictures of his son like Instagram's going out of business. In his interviews, he's all about that daddy life, talking about those sleepless nights and early mornings with his little one like he's reading from the Book of Proud Fathers.
Everything in the world say about me is a lie. I don't give a damn. I don't really care too much. That shit didn't affect me. That just made your source. That just made your information that you talk about not credible.
But he broke the mold when he...
They all got the same structure face.
It made me very special.
Who?
They just got different hairstyles.
King shared this absolutely precious video showing off his son's nickname, looking happier than a kid who just found out every day is Christmas. He's really embracing this whole father thing like it's his calling from above, which might just be the wake-up call he needed to get his life together. He ended the video telling everyone to check out his Snapchat for more daddy-son content. We're living for this redemption arc.
A lot of people hit me up like, King, I know you tired. You ain't getting no sleep. And the truth be told, before this little, I ain't been getting no sleep. You know what I'm saying? I just been outside working, lifestyle. You know, lifestyle just lifing. You know what I'm saying? And but now I'm damn sure not getting no sleep. This up every morning, and then around the morning time, he like to do that little live concert I be doing with him, and he like to walk around the house. So that's what I've been dealing with. But if y'all want to come see what I'm going through early in the morning with Lil Junior, I call him Lil Jack as a baby, because Jack from... Anyway, y'all want to see what we doing? Tap in on the Snapchat.
Now let me take you to church with a little blast from the past, because this isn't the first time the Harris family has dealt with this flavor of tea. Remember King's older half-brother Messiah? Child, let me tell you about him. He used to be on the show too, but he was always more mysterious than the ingredients in my auntie's secret sauce, keeping his business locked up tight.
All right, King. You like this girl? You know, I read that letter she gave you. She said she gonna break your balls if you break her heart. That's what she said. How long you gonna be with her, King? Forever. Because she gonna break your balls, right?
But honey, even the quiet ones have stories to tell. Messiah faded from the show like a sunset. Right around the time, some very interesting rumors started doing the electric slide through these streets. There were whispers about him being in a same-sex relationship, and baby, there were pictures that had the internet clutching its collective pearls. And here's where it gets more interesting than a plot twist in a Tyler Perry movie. Word on the street is that T.I. wasn't exactly jumping for joy about these revelations. Some say he was the one who showed Messiah the exit door faster than a bad note in the choir because it didn't match his macho image. Does this tea taste familiar? It's like history repeating itself with this King situation.
So the other day, somebody had left me a comment asking, was it true that Messiah was gay and that's why T.I. didn't want him on the show anymore? There is honestly no proof to this, but let's go ahead and talk about the background story and the information I found. So one, there was nothing on Instagram that I seen, nothing on Twitter, or now it's called X, but I did go to TikTok, and TikTok led me back to YouTube. So there was a lady commenting on this because she had seen a video on YouTube where someone said that Messiah was gay and T.I. wanted to hide that from the show because it was a bad look, because it ended up with some photos being leaked and stuff like that. So I want to go ahead and clarify that information right now. Messiah is not gay. Honestly, we don't know his sexuality because he doesn't talk about it. We don't see who he dates. And also, he's very private. He's really focused on being a blues musician. What the rumor was that allegedly Messiah was in some kind of gay relationship with a classmate or somebody in school. They were under the age of 17 sharing adult photos, even though they weren't adults, if you catch my drift. And somebody got caught up, and T.I. didn't want that to come out on the show and be associated with that, so he kicked Messiah off the show. T.I. wanted to protect the brand at all costs. Kicking his son off the show was his only choice. That story sounded like a bunch of BS. And secondly, it sounded like that story was getting mixed with something else that happened. I don't know if you guys remember, but sometime around 2017, there was this whole controversy around Rashida and Kirk's oldest son, Kai. And there was a lady who called Rashida's business saying that her son and Kai were having an inappropriate relationship and he was gay, and she was trying to confront her and stuff like that. And so
now, to keep it 100, there wasn't any concrete evidence about all this drama with Messiah. Some folks say he just naturally stepped back because he was busy with college. You know how those schedules can be more demanding than a church mother during communion. These days, he's doing his own thing, trying to make it in the music industry as a blue artist, but keeping everything else under wraps tighter than my grandmother's Sunday dinner recipes.
I feel restricted being under my parents' roof for so long, you know. So I'm looking forward to having my own place because I'm ready to see what it has to offer. I just yearn for the experience.
All right.
All right, so come on in.
Looking at the bigger picture, it's crystal clear that King's life has been about as normal as a zebra in a horse race. Imagine growing up with more cameras in your face than a Kardashian. The boy's been famous since before he could say action. Sure, he's had his moments of rebellion that would make a saint need prayer, and those run-ins with the law that had everybody clutching their pearls, but becoming a daddy might just be the reality check he needed from above. So what do y'all think about all this scalding hot tea? Is King really living that DL life? Did Big Nana do him dirtier than a mud wrestling match? And what about that baby? Is King Jr. really his? Drop your thoughts in the comments below faster than an amen at church. And don't forget to stay tuned for more juicy Hollywood scandals. Trust and believe. You don't want to miss what we've got coming up next. This is your girl signing off. But remember, the tea never stops brewing in these Hollywood streets.